The idea you need a weapon that can have the ability to fire 20, 30, 40, 50, 120 shots from that weapon, whether it's a 9mm pistol or whether it's a rifle, is ridiculous. I'm continuing to push to eliminate the sale of those things.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Death by Tyranny podcast. Man, there's a lot of crazy shit going on in the world. Sorry it's been a couple days since you've heard from me. I had some personal reasons I couldn't return from work, and so I was able to do quite a few podcasts within those couple of days, which was awesome. I got it, only 12 subscribers, but, it's better than zero, and thanks to everybody supporting the channel. And yeah, man. What's been going on? I'm going to try to do a little bit more here. I have the ability to take in phone calls, so if somebody wants to shoot me a message, maybe we can try to work it out on the back end and see if we can't get some phone calls through. Maybe try to do one tomorrow and get some other people's perspective from around my neighborhoodish area within, 50 miles or so. Yeah, man. Pray for the global war on terror. So, there's still quite a few United States citizens stuck over in Afghanistan, which is just, it's actually unbelievable. The way the Biden administration coordinated that was a disaster. Whether or not we should still be there or not, that I don't think we should be, but the way we handled it was terrible, and the $30 billion plus military we left the Taliban is probably going to come back to bite us in the ass at some point, whether it's sold to China or Russia. I would almost imagine that the Taliban has already sold one of everything to China and Russia just so they can tear apart all of our military equipment and get some insight on that. And then I'm sure the Taliban will keep some for themselves and, disperse amongst other organizations through Afghanistan and Pakistan. And then you have the White House coming out, watch out during 9/11, the anniversary of 9/11, for all these fucking white nationalists. You got one paragraph about the Taliban in the 9/11 anniversary warning report, and the rest of it is about conservatives. So I'm curious to see where all this money and military complex is going to get their money from that they're losing in Afghanistan, and all the intelligence agencies, where they're going to put those resources. We already know they're putting quite a few resources into the January 6th, which just recently came out that there was no conspiracy to attack the Capitol on behalf of conservative groups or President Donald Trump. And it's ironic because for the last 4 or 5 months, we've heard nothing that can separate conservatives from Trump supporters, from Republicans, from the Proud Boys, from militias. We're all grouped in this one Nazi racist group, yet somehow we're supposed to separate BLM activists from the BLM organization, from Antifa, from all the riots that happened for going on 2 years. We're not buying it. If you're not going to separate us, then don't expect us to separate you guys. And I don't want to put it like that, because then it's, us versus them. But really, that's what the media narrative is going towards. That's what it's been for the last couple of years. And that's what it's going to continue to be. And every time I point out the other side being hypocritical, they want to come attack me. What does BLM got to do with this? You hate black people. Da, da, da. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. I'm not buying it. And like I said, if you're not going to give us the courtesy of separating our groups and acting like we can be critical thinkers, then don't expect me to do it to the other side, because it's not going to happen. In fact, we're seeing a lot of times these liberals and these leftists, they don't do this critical thinking. They're coming out against the Biden administration for what's going on in Afghanistan. What? You thought they were doing a good job up until then? Are you retarded? You want to push vaccines on people, push mandates, push mask mandates. You know, you want to be able to drag our kids out of our homes and give them shots. Yet you're fact checking Biden now? We've been telling you this whole time that there's something bigger going on, and the more that you lean into it, the worse it's going to get. And now that there's people, American citizens stuck in Afghanistan, and Biden can't give you a for sure answer if we're going to get them all out, and you want to be worried about the gays and Afghan refugees stuck over in Afghanistan, but you had no problem attacking American citizens on U.S. soil for the last 4 or 5 months. The hypocrisy is crazy. You want to leave the Taliban billions of dollars worth of weapons while they are still heavily pushing this gun control narrative. Just over the last 2 days, they're trying to put sanctions on Russian ammo, which we know is the cheap stuff that's coming into the United States, and they get a workaround through the Ukraine or however they're doing it. That's going to dry up. That's going to drive up ammo prices. Say what you want to say, but that's a form of gun control. You're outpricing the middle class, the lower middle class, there's a poverty line that's not going to be able to buy into the Second Amendment. That is gun control. You have almost 300,000 comments on the frame and receiver FTA or ATF. I pulled a Biden. ATF's comment section, and during the last 3 days, the anti-gunners want to jump in there and put in their nonsense. They weren't even paying attention. Somebody was like, hey guys, their attention's over here. Let's kick them while they're down. While they're all fighting amongst themselves over Afghanistan, let's dive head deep into this gun control stuff while they're not paying attention. Pay attention. We're not going anywhere. We're staying in Afghanistan. Biden has already sent more troops into Afghanistan. Now that might be to, sort the mess out, and that might have been, what he was going for. Let's cause chaos, and then we can come in and clean it up afterwards, and we can be done with it. But it was still a failure on his part. And the military leaders, no fault of the American soldiers by any means, ever. They're only doing their job. They're only trying to save American lives. You have people in the 82nd Airborne coming out that are pissed because there are other countries and other soldiers going out and finding people, and they're not allowed to leave. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. And I've seen a lot of people, try to justify why we should still be over in Afghanistan on the liberal and the conservative side, and I think that's what they're getting at. They're making a hard push to stay in Afghanistan. And that's going to only help the Biden administration, right? Because if they pulled out, it was a huge mistake, but then they go back in and save the day. You know what I mean? And then you have then the war machine keeps turning. So watch the narrative, and I've seen people be attacked for this. Hey, the narrative is, save the music schools in Afghanistan. We need to stay over there for gay rights and all this stuff. And, we had the lowest number of troops we've had over there in a long time. We still had somewhat control over it. The Taliban didn't have $33 billion worth of military equipment. And it was fine to hand all that over. And now you have the media trying to push to go back into Afghanistan. The worst parts are still happening or have already happened. Redeploying into Afghanistan isn't going to do a whole lot. The Taliban has the upper hand. They have more ammunition and military power now. You're only putting the American soldier in more harm. And God bless them, they are going to be down for that. And thank God we have citizens of the United States that are willing to put their lives on the line like that to go over there and get U.S. citizens out of there. Because if we didn't, believe that the Biden administration would not be willing to do it. But there are good people in the military fighting to stay over there and get all these people out. And then after that, we'll see where it goes. But I'm telling you, the narrative is, let's stay in Afghanistan. Let's deploy more troops into Afghanistan. There's already more troops being deployed to military bases, ready to go. So, what did we hand over $33 billion worth of military equipment to the Taliban for? To what? Save the Biden administration so he can go in and look like a hero? Don't buy it. Don't buy it. Don't let them win. This is the one thing that we unanimously come together and say the Biden administration fucked up. Now we can say, hey guys, look, they have been failing on every single point. The only thing the left agenda and the Biden administration has going for them is hate. Hate the other side. Hate white people. Hate the racists. Hate the Nazis. They're all the same. And now you have hate the anti-vaxxers. Hate the anti-maskers. That is the only thing that they have been able to push that has been successful. While our economy dies, while inflation rises, while the Taliban gets stronger, while other countries and other military, grow, America's falling apart. But hey, good job for you guys hating the other 55% of America. That's doing you guys a whole lot of good right now. What? I'm curious. I don't know if I want to take calls to talk about Afghanistan or take calls to see why people voted for Biden, because I don't get it. And maybe that's naive on my part, but did they push the narrative that people who support Trump are so evil that it was worth the rest of America falling apart? I just wanted to get on here and let you guys know I probably will hop back on here tonight. And then we might try to figure out some Bluetooth call-ins tomorrow. Thanks everybody for supporting me. All the new subscribers, I appreciate it. We're going to keep fighting the good fight. Don't let them fool you. Don't let them separate their groups and, lump us all into one. Don't let them push this narrative that we need to redeploy to Afghanistan. We need to get our people out. We need to get the military equipment out of the Taliban hands and be done with it at this point. There's always going to be a reason to stay in Afghanistan. It just depends on whether or not it's worth fighting for. And that's going to be the argument over the next week or so. And behind that is going to be this narrative that we have to do it. And we might have to. But it should be a conversation after we get the United States citizens out of Afghanistan, after we get military equipment out of the Taliban's hands, and then we can talk about it. And don't be surprised if our tax dollars end up paying for hostages over in Afghanistan. We paid for the military equipment that the Taliban has. We paid for the Taliban to take over Afghanistan over the last couple of months. It didn't happen in 11 days. It's been falling apart for a while now, and they misled you. Sorry for the noise. We'll go ahead and jump off here. My neighbor's mowing the grass, and I do this in my mudroom, so you guys have a good one. I love you guys. Stay safe. Peace, y'all.